What's going on, good people? You have to excuse my voice. I am a little nasally congested. Being a car enthusiast, I'll just kind of explain it in my words or just how I perceive things. So in order for me to do that, I want to take you guys back to when I first got introduced into cars. This was back in the early 2000s. The Fast and Furious came out. That right there was probably the movie that kind of just introduced me into cars. And as I went into high school, I started noticing cars. And one of the cars was the RSX. So, I remember vividly looking at the rear end of the car, the taillights, and just looking at the car and just being like, wow, that's a beautiful car. From there, it went to Tokyo Drift and just the whole JDM car scene in itself. A lot of my friends had Hondas, so I kind of gravitated towards that. And that I was just so immersed in the secret car meets that you had back in the days. It wasn't really known. There wasn't really social media at the time. It was just hearsay. So you have many car manufacturers, domestic to Euro to JDM. I am guilty of it too. Whenever I see like an old school Honda or like, just a nice clean example, like an SI or Integra or something along those lines, I kind of get excited. Yeah, I guess we kind of just categorize ourselves in that brand. And it's not to say that it's like a bad thing, but at the same time, it's like, okay, you box somebody into that category, there's appreciation lost elsewhere. It's a car meet, right? You guys are out with your friends, you're at the local spot, right? You come up to a car, beautiful car, right? The guys put in countless hours, right? In the car, in the build. Somebody goes, why would you put money into such and such car? Well, first off, you haven't even like talked to the owner. You don't even know the story behind it. You don't know anything other than what your mind already perceives to see about that. This is the day and age where people have no appreciation of the time, the money, attention to detail of these builds. And I think it's very important, even though we have our own brand loyalty, to appreciate other builds, whether it be something that you may not like, but yet still appreciate it. And I think that's just majority of the car scene, not all of the car scene, because there are some good people out there that truly still enjoy cars as a whole, not just brands. We're as a car community, we are in this bubble together. You may have different categories within that bubble, but we're at the same time, we're all in this car scene, and it's important for us to respect each other. And I don't see any of that, which kind of sucks. Growing up in high school, we had MySpace, Facebook, but there wasn't really that much social media yet. Instagram wasn't around. It was kind of hard for people to access information, specifically about builds or parts or whatever. So, you would go online, go to forums, search the web, kind of see what people are saying. I remember going on websites or even just getting magazines from the library and just looking at car pictures and just looking at all the cars and like the modifications. I remember bringing sticky notes with me to the library and writing down parts and brands and all that stuff. And I had a flip phone, take a picture, and it really wouldn't look that great. Being that there's social media nowadays, it's kind of a blessing and a curse at the same time. There is all that information there, which is amazing at your fingertips. I think the time was a lot better when we didn't have all that technology. We didn't have all that access to quick information, because it was all part of the process. It's definitely helped humanity in big ways. I'm not bashing that. That's not what I'm doing. But what I'm saying is the time. This is going back to like the respect aspect, categorize people and push people down. Like, oh, my build's faster than your build. Seeing people put people down like that, that's not what it's about. At the end of the day, it's about respecting everybody's builds and just coming together as a car community. You know what I mean? Like it's gone, bro. Like it sucks, man. The car culture today is like totally different, And that's not to take away from like my love for cars, because my love for cars will always be there. In the late 90s, early 2000s, it was a time to be alive, man. Like, even though I was like a little kid, I still remember just the culture back then was so different, man. Kids these days now, it sucks that they'll never experience that, maybe in a different way, maybe, following their favorite YouTuber or whatever car meet. But man, it was a completely different time, man. And I really miss that time. I really, really like to go to car meets and car shows and car gatherings and whatever, to support, local shops, to support local people. I'm all about that, But with that comes big egos and big personalities. What I'm listening to, what I'm hearing, just what people say, man, is just wild. It's no longer about like, oh, yo, like, how did you do this? And like, what's the story with this? You know, like I rarely hear that. And when I hear it, I get excited because it's like, yo, like people are appreciating other people's builds. But now I'm just hearing like sneak disses to like people's builds, like, oh, this looks jank, or oh, this right here is trash. Yeah, I mean, I'm really from a different generation, and a lot of people kind of forget that I'm as old as I am. I'm pushing 40, guys, so a lot of people think I'm still young. These cars and like this YouTube channel and everything like that, I do it because I have a passion for it. I love working on my car. You know, I'm not here trying to flex. I'm not here trying to get clout. I'm here to help the community. At the end of the day, if I can help at least 2 or 3 of you guys, that's a win in my book. Like, perfect example, Instagram, right? People will message people on Instagram and just not answer. They have every right to, right? Like, it's your whatever. You don't have to talk to anybody. But, you know, me personally, like if you guys ask me a question, you can ask anybody this, anybody who knows me or anybody who follows me or whatever the case may be. I always try to answer people and help them, you know, because this FD conversion that I did is very complex and there's a lot of stuff to it. I don't really want to get into it, but I'm always here to help the community. I'm always here to be open to you guys. That's why I do these videos, to show you guys, you know, certain processes, what I'm doing, just to be inspirational to somebody out there who doesn't really have the confidence or the know-how to. Just appreciate everybody's builds, man. I don't understand why we're putting each other down. It just kills the experience, man. I don't know, research another brand or another manufacturer, you know, like you can learn a lot of stuff. And there's a lot of cool people that are in these so-called groups that you will never meet and you will never know, because you're not going to talk to them because you're loyal to your brand. And if you guys want, you guys can comment down in the comment section below. But I'm really curious on what you guys think of today's car culture. Do you guys enjoy it? Are you guys like done with it? That's going to do it for today's video, guys. I really appreciate it. This is just something that I wanted to make and kind of just express my opinion on. I did get some more parts in for the Civic, so I'll be showing you guys that in a later video. But yeah, if you guys like the video, give it a like. With that being said, I hope you guys have a nice rest of your weekend or day, whatever time you guys are watching, and I will see you guys in the next video.